is that bad. Retrogrades is the best times of the world. Y'all better be happy God gave y'all that. Listen, when Mercury retrograde is the best retrogrades, because you're able to really think about what you're about to say before you say it. What's Mercury? Mercury is your intellect body. So what's your intellect body? Dealing with the mental. So when it's in retrograde, if your Mercury is in a debilitated place, which may be like Pisces, Aquarius, Aries, a little bit of Taurus, a little bit of Capricorn. If your Mercury going through that sector, your Mercury is liable to be debilitated. When Mercury is in retrograde, nigga, that's the best time of your motherfucking life, nigga. Because when your Mercury is in debilitated, you're liable to say a lot of shit without thinking about it. So you might say shit and didn't have a fully thought process about it. So people might take it in ways that you didn't mean to say it. That's when your Mercury is in debilitated. The most debilitated Mercury is in Pisces. You know what I'm saying? So it's exalted in Virgo. So if it's in anywhere around there, it's a lot easier for you to think about saying the right thing than as opposed to Mercury being in the previous 6 planets. So the 6 planets on Virgo and beyond is better for the Mercury being, and the 6 planets below, which is Capricorn through Taurus, a little bit of Gemini, is kind of at a you know, it's at home in Gemini. So Taurus and below, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm trying to say. So when Mercury is in retrograde, the signs that it's got the best exaltation in, and the sign is exalted in, which is Virgo, these people are, they might think they're too intellect. So they might come across like they're too perfect at talking. So a person might have to say like, oh yeah, I know you right, but you coming across like you ain't that right. Then the debilitated is making them look at where it's debilitated at and act on that. So they will be able to know when they're going to say something that might not be able to be perceived, right? And work on it. And before they say it, they worked on it and they said it to the point that it's perceived right. So retrogrades are great. Only retrograde I can tell you that no, all retrogrades is great. All retrogrades is absolutely great. Only thing I was about to say is Mars, because it could kind of not make you as aggressive. But who wants to be aggressive all the time? And only time somebody want to jump and be aggressive if they're in a job paradigm. A fucking punk ass job. But where if Mars was in retrograde, it might make you a little more lazier at work. And then you have to be more up pace at work. But see, I don't live in y'all 3D world. So retrogrades is great. They're great all the way around, esoterically. Now, you're in some 3D program, it might be bad for you at the moment. So then you can go listen to some 3 density ass astrologer about that though. But like I said, I don't live here. And we in the motherfucking matrix. It's like when I police and anything that's dealing with government are agents. Judges, police, doctors, everything. Agents. If you're one of these things, you're agents. If you feel good about being one of these things, you're agent. And you come from an agent ancestral background. You know what I'm saying? And you have agents in the esoteric realm that's telling you to do things. You might have a dead ancestor, your grandmother, your grandmother's grandmother, whatever, and they were agents. So there's still agents in the esoteric realm. Like I said, government, police, and when you close your eyes and go into the ether, which is space, and you dream and vision and all that shit, the police and government is there too. They're the Galactic Federation of Light. They create the illusions with the light. Light is an illusion. Dark is an offspring of the light. It's not the other way around. Light don't come from dark. Dark comes from light. Because without the light that y'all call light is void of it. So that's what you think is dark. But light or dark ain't what you actually thinking, as in the relationship of these two eyes, as you can see in one of them and you can't see in one of them. That has nothing to do. When you close your eyes and have visions and shit, that's real seeing and not seeing. You know what I'm saying? This light and dark shit, 3D manifestation illusion, is dealing with the sun and the moon illusions and shit like that. And you have beings here infiltrating those energies and reciprocating those energies into physical shit. That's why you have light bulbs and shit here and shit like that, and street lights and shit at night that you know what I'm saying? That's here and there. But at the same time, I'm here to tell y'all that things are completely different. And in the Matrix, every time I step out, I feel like Neo. Police, look, there's certain satellites and rays on the moon and the sun that picks up certain shit. Like, and you could be dealing with a program from an engineer of a program, which the 13 families and all these, the Illuminati, there's 13, these are engineers. And they engineer programs and surface them through shit. Just like if you go on World Star Hip Hop, there's certain ads that run. That's a program running through a program. So whoever engineered that ad ran that program through the World Star program, because they know it's going to be a lot of visitors on World Star, so they know it's going to be a lot of people who may see that commercial ad. So that's a program within a program. So that's the same thing here. Satellites is filters. So it's the sun and the moon, right? So there's programs that the 13 families run through. Say the sun and the moon is World Star. You got a lot of ads and commercials that engineers come up with that run it through World Star. You have a lot of engineers that create programs that run it through the sun and the moon satellites and all the other planet satellites. So they say stealing is wrong, right? Now, steal, the word steal is esoteric. It has nothing to do with stealing an item from a store. You're not allowed to steal someone's energy and use it for your own benefits. That's what the commandments is talking about. That's what it's really talking about. Now, the energy that the 13 families took and reciprocated it into physical shit as like the physical commandment and telling you not to steal and shit like that. As a human, you're trained under their programs and their satellite. The satellite on the moon and the sun filter it through you thinking that stealing has something to do with physical stealing. Guys, going to the store, stealing something. Stealing someone's car. Stealing someone, stealing outer physical stuff. When really, stealing, you're not supposed to steal someone's heart. You're not supposed to steal someone's energy, someone's emotions and feelings. So right there, you got the split of the 13 families taking the energy and reciprocating that version of it. So they got you thinking stealing is something entirely different. So when you steal, this is how they pick up on you. Say you steal something from the store. What happens to you? You start to feel the guilt program, right? The only reason you downloaded the guilt program is because you clicked on that commercial ad. Say you made a mistake and clicked on that commercial ad on World Star. Now you gave power and visitor site likes to that engineer. So by you feeling guilty, the satellites that the 13 families is picking up through the sun and the moon, you upload it, you download the guilt program, and you uploaded a like to their program. So now they picked up on you being guilty. So now they're running on your like. Your like is your guilt program. They say your like on Facebook, your like on World Star, on that ad and commercial that was ran through World Star. And in life, that's your, when you felt guilt for stealing that, that's like you're liking that engineer's program through that. Now, your actual stealing is, say that's the actual World Star program. What you stole was something physical, and once you felt guilty about it, that's you clicking on the like. You made a mistake and clicked on the like of that commercial ad that was ran through that World Star video. So the guilt is you accepting that you felt like you stole something from that engineer version of stealing. And it had nothing to do with the actual stealing. It had something to do with you stealing something physically. So now that engineer is the 13 families. One of the 13 out of the families created the judicial system and the legislative system. So now you broke a law, which is their law, and since you feel guilty, you gave them a like. You accepted the terms and conditions of you being breaking their law, and they're gonna punish you by you being guilty of something that had nothing to do with nothing in the first place. That shit don't got nothing to do with nothing in the first place. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? It's like, so it's like the 13 families came up with say the sun is the computer. The 13 families put all the programs on the computer chip. So you're just running through these programs. So me, I don't give a fuck about stealing a candy bar or shirt or anything. So if I go to the store, I'm gonna steal something, I'm not gonna feel guilty. So the sun and the moon antennas and satellites ain't gonna pick up on my guilt. So the 13 families not gonna be able to catch that wave of somebody being guilt in their program. So I'm not guilty. So I didn't break a law because I didn't click on y'all ad. I didn't like y'all commercial. I didn't even agree to it. I didn't even see it. It wasn't even in my mind that I was doing something wrong. So when I stole from the store, I got away scot-free, and I didn't even think like that. It wasn't nothing I was trying to escape. It's my shirt. It's my right to go in there and take it. And if I know about that shirt and I liked it, then obviously somewhere in my sphere of reality, somebody made that shirt for me to see it, for me to go get it. Point blank, period. That's it. No jail time, no nothing. Now you go in there and steal it. You start looking around, hoping people don't see you. You already clicked on another ad, another program. The satellites, and the way I explained it, I see this kind of energy I'm throwing out there a little bit. I don't want you to think that the 13 families and people who controlling some of the energies through manifestation, physical shit. I don't want you to think that the satellites on the sun and the moon works for them. No, the moon UV rays, the sun UV rays, those are the satellites. Those satellites are already there. It's just who can use it the best. And the 13 families and their generations came up with the best way to use it for their agenda. And since they did it first and did the discovery of it, they actually came up with the most potent programs to take over and make people slaves and robots. And not robots and shit. But at the same time, when you're a person who's consciously aware like me, you end up becoming Neo from the Matrix. So you end up being outside looking in. So when you do jump back in, you have all this power and knowledge from what you learned from the outside. So when you go in, the sun satellites and the moon satellites pick up on that. And the 13 families, they're out looking in. They're like agents. So they're in. This is their realm to be in. But their generations pull out from energies from out. So they're out looking in, but they want to control the whole in. And when you're out and then you jump back in, they UV rays, I mean, they look at the satellites of the sun and the moon in and pick up on you having the energy of being out and not going by anything that's in. And then that's when they come attack your ass. And then the agent could turn into anybody. They could turn into anybody. They could turn into your motherfucking mother. Like in the Matrix movie, they might have had actually turned into your mother. Like your mother might have just chased into an agent and pointed a gun at you, then you have to run if you was Neo. But it's like that on Earth. Like, if you don't got insurance and your license, your mother might be the one who look at you like, you stupid as fuck. Motherfucking dumbass nigga, go get your license. You're being attacked by an agent, nigga. Your mother turned into an agent. Your family member, that's what it is. You start getting attacked. Your mother gonna find out that you ain't got no license or insurance, so she gonna attack. So she's gonna turn into an agent and attack your ass for the agent's agenda, 13's family agenda. You know what happen if you don't got insurance? If you run into somebody, no, you have to pay for it for yourself, which equates to money, which is they shit. If you ain't got no money, how you gonna pay for it? Which equates for you have to work for money, which is they shit. Which equates for if you ain't got no license, you're gonna get pulled over. They gonna take you. You're not gonna be able to drive. Which a license is an illusion, which is their shit. Which everything lures back to the 13 family shit. Will let you know ain't none of that shit fucking real. And the people who's working graciously and so happy to be under their system, these are the people who are in, the robots, the humans. People who haven't been unplugged yet. People who will argue with someone who's unplugged about being plugged in and make that think that that's what's up. Like, damn, nigga, you ain't got no job? Damn, nigga, what the fuck wrong with you? This is a nigga who plugged in talking to a nigga who don't got a job, nigga who unplugged. And you got some niggas who don't got jobs who still plugged in. And them are the people who dealing with the worst stress. Because they stressing that they don't got a job because they got to deal with so many other people who plugged in that got jobs to try and make them get a job. It's like, this shit is crazy. When I come on Earth, this shit is crazy to me. It's like, man, it's like I'm different from the cops. I'm different from agents. Your family ain't really your family. They could turn into an agent if they ain't unplugged. Nigga, I'm unplugged. So when I plug myself in with all them new technologies, new karate skills, all kind of shit, learn how to jump from building to building, nigga, learn how to fly, nigga, learn how to be the pilot man, the flight boss. Nigga, when I come back here, when I plug myself back in with all that shit I just learned from being unplugged, nigga, I'm public enemy #1, nigga. Nobody ain't gonna fuck with me when I'm plugged in, but I got superpowers though. You know what I'm saying? I'm the flight boss though. I'm able to do a lot of shit y'all niggas can't do. And y'all know that. Y'all know that. Get unplugged with your boy. You might deal with a hardship of time, but we in the age of Aquarius. Everybody is getting unplugged. Nigga, you been on the internet lately? Nigga, go on the internet and type in consciousness. So many motherfucking people is getting unplugged. But you got a lot of people who's learning about being unplugged without actually being unplugged. That's where we get 3D astrologers and shit at, where people who talk about retrogrades is bad and people and south nodes and north nodes. This is where you get these kind of people at. People who learned knowledge from a nigga who unplugged himself and came back, like Tupac. Tupac was a nigga who unplugged himself and came back in and didn't give a fuck about the agents knowing that he was plugged in. See, a nigga like me, sometimes I might give a fuck. Because sometimes I might wake up and not feel like being fucked with. I might not feel like getting another ticket today. I might not feel like, you know what I'm saying? I might not feel like that. So sometimes I might not let the agents know. You know what I'm saying? But Tupac was a representation of a nigga who was unplugged and plugged himself back in with all this knowledge and powers and ability of uploads and shit from being unplugged, like the Matrix. You know, when Neo and them got unplugged and they downloaded this cat with all the roof jumping program and unlimited ammo program, like Grand Theft Auto and shit like that. They plugged. He got that knowledge and then got plugged back in. You know what I'm saying? With the thing with Tupac, he didn't give a fuck if the agents. He was one of them type of revolutionary motherfuckers that he wanted the agents to know he was plugged in. And what the fuck y'all want to do? That's the level I'm getting to right now. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers will pick up a little bit on the satellites you plugged in or not, but if you ain't really showboating it like that, they just have to pick it up. But I'm about to be that nigga who got a driver with no license, and everywhere I go, I'm gonna fly on top of the car like the fucking Silver Surfer and tell the cops I ain't got no license. What you wanna do? This how you really fight the shit. This how you really let the motherfuckers know, nah, I ain't plugged in. I haven't been plugged in for a while, but I plugged myself in with all this knowledge and all this power and shit and techniques and technologies and shit. and I'm ready to go to war I'm ready to go to war in the shit. But you got a lot of people right now who's getting knowledge from these characters, from Tupac and from niggas like me. You getting a lot of people who plugged in who's getting knowledge from a nigga who's been unplugged and obtained a lot of knowledge, plugged himself in, showed his ass a little bit, and then the people who plugged in seen this shit was like, man, there's something unique about this person. I like this person. Gravitated towards that person. And then when that person steady unplugging himself, plugging himself back in, the person who plugged in is learning knowledge from this person about shit. So when they talking about shit. When really, esoterically, dealing with the matrix, these are just people who plugged in, speaking upon shit they learned from people who was unplugged. So they got a little bit of knowledge of people who was unplugged when they plugged themselves back in and showed their ass a little bit. The people who are plugged in already and stayed plugged in, getting knowledge from these people, got some techniques and information, and start explaining to other people who plugged in about a little bit of knowledge about how things are being unplugged. But they don't know what they're actually talking about. They're just actually talking about it like everything is still plugged in, because they never really experienced the unpluggedness like the person, like Neo, like the Neo that's on Earth. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you come across a lot of these astrologers and metaphysicers and shit like that. But you know what I'm saying? That's like a quick example. I know y'all get what the fuck I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? I ain't eat nothing, so it might not be that earthly. You know what I'm saying? But I'm about to start doing a lot of my videos before I eat, because sometimes I'll be having to eat a piece of chicken to deal with the outside world. Like I said, I just lost my wings today. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? I might smoke a black and mild. I might even smoke a cigarette. Might. I'm still iffy about tobacco. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of y'all vegans and shit out there too also and shit like that. I hip y'all onto some science. You got niggas who will be like, man, don't eat shit. The less you eat, the faster you could ascend the shit. Listen, when you eat, you're not even eating shit. Your mind and esoteric realm is not eating anything. Your physical body's eating. Your physical body needs some type of nourishment, and that's what it's here for. Because look, this is a whole nother video. I would kick y'all. Look, I would kick everybody in the ass on the internet. For real. Don't come up to me with nobody you think you learning something from. Because them niggas ain't where I'm from, and I ain't had to learn none of that shit. That's the difference. These niggas have mentors and shit, and people who taught them shit. Nigga, my shit comes straight from the source. My shit comes straight from the divinity divine. My shit comes straight from God. My shit comes straight from him. I'm the Archangel Uriel. Who else would you rather listen to? For real, man.